Hello, fellow female activists. Today we are once again learning about hydration. Cathy Bettis here, Cathy Perez. I am your fellow female activist and wellness coach. So welcome to anyone who's new, and don't forget to subscribe and like, okay? So today, again, we're going to talk about hydration. So as you may or may not already know, we always start with positive quotient repetitions or PQ reps to get us in the right mindset, to get us feeling more safe and definitely more calm. So if you're new to this, it's painless, I promise. Alrighty. So if you feel safe, feel free to close your eyes. If you're not able to, that's okay too. I will close my eyes. And definitely, if you can get yourself to a place where you can be alone and it's quiet, that's preferable, but no worries. What you're going to do now is wherever you're at, whether you're sitting, standing, laying down, I want you to go ahead and bring your hands together in prayer or with palms touching, fingers touching, and go ahead and with much intention, go ahead and slide your fingers against one another with such intention that you can feel the fingertip ridges, that you could possibly even feel your fingerprints. How is that sensation feeling throughout your body? Is it smooth? Is it scaly? Let that sensation fill you. Do you feel the friction building? Can you feel the heat? Feel free to bring your fingers all the way down into your palm so you can feel all those different parts of your palm. Amazing. Now go ahead and open your eyes, blink them open, and look at one of your palms with such intention like never before. Notice the shades in your hands from your blood vessels. Notice those lines that feed through your hand. Notice your fingers, how they're attached. Never before have you noticed so much about your hand. And then go ahead, close your eyes if you wish again, and put your hand or hands over your heart. And do your best to feel your heart. You may have to press a little harder. And just notice what's moving. And this time when you're ready, feel free to flutter your eyes open and come back. For anyone new, that was your first experience with a positive quotient repetition session or PQ reps. And it's our way of being sage. It's our way of calming down and focusing, okay? So that all our energy is where it should be, focused in the present. All right. So today, again, we are talking about hydration. Why is hydration important? Well, for you, my fellow female activists, we want to stay hydrated. One, because as humans, we're 60% liquid, mostly water, right? And because when we're hydrated, we have better ideas. It's just the way it is. What I mean by that is our hydration is directly related to how we feel. Okay. We can feel sluggish if we're not well hydrated. We can also, again, feel less energetic. Okay. Sluggish, energetic. Remember, this whole premise of our channel is to feel energy to bring about natural energy from the inside out of us. All right. Not from external sources, but from the inside. So when we're well hydrated, we're able to create more energy on demand very quickly. Hydration obviously is extremely important. Let's say that you're, again, you know, you're out and about with the community, right? Or you're in some type of community event. You're possibly speaking, okay, to a lot of folks. Staying hydrated will not only make your words sound better, meaning that your throat's not going to get tight, right, or dry, but also you will be in a better position physically so that you don't faint. um, it's important to understand that hydration is like the cornerstone to making sure that your body overall is working. When we have, for instance, more water in our body, okay, more liquid, then any of you who have ever donated blood, okay, if that's something you've ever tried or have taken part in, I have as well, then we all know that we're told to make sure you drink a lot of water before because that will help our blood flow. It's just the way it is. We're 60% water, for goodness sake. So the more hydrated we are, the better. So what I'm going to give to you is some really keen advice on how to stay hydrated. The old saying is, you get done, no, what gets done gets tracked, or what gets tracked gets done, right? Or what gets tracked gets improved, so forth and so on. The trick here is the keyword tracking. So be aware that when you're tracking something, that's when you actually are paying attention to it. Okay. So today's hydration tip is going to be to track your water intake. Okay. So tracking doesn't have to be anything, difficult. All right. The idea is that we just want to start drinking, hopefully, more water. Hopefully you are already drinking some type of, water intake and you're feeling okay, but you can always improve, right? All of us can always improve. So again, we want to reiterate the fact that we just don't want to be drinking straight, clear water. We want to have electrolytes in that water. Okay, that's important. With that in mind, you get to decide, okay, now that I know that I need water consistently throughout my waking hours, and that I also want it to have electrolytes in it, okay, and how am I going to make sure I'm drinking this water? Well, the easiest way is to have some type of water container vessel with you at all times. So I would prefer that you think about Mother Nature, okay, and sustainability, and that you go with something that's glass and or stainless steel, okay? I would do my best to stay away from anything plastic, okay? Even though you hear the BPA free and all these other sort of recycling type words, be informed that really it's just safer and better overall for you and the environment if you're using either glass or something like stainless steel related. Okay. And I understand if that might be, maybe that's not necessarily, I should be more, let me put it this way. If it's in your, um, you know, in your realm of possibilities, then I would suggest that you go with something that is either glass or, again, stainless steel. When you are using plastic, those plastics over time do break down, and then that means that it's going into your water. So you might have the best filtered water, but it's still seeping in some type of plastic contaminants. Okay. So with that said, you have a water vessel, whatever that looks like to you. Okay. And now you want to know, okay, well, how do I know how much water I've actually drank during my waking hours? Awesome question. Well, you want to be able to track it. So the best advice I ever got was from my coach, my fitness coach at the time. And this is my water bottle. Okay. You'll notice that there's a rubber band on here, right? So the best advice that my coach ever gave me, and I still use it today, obviously, is to have as many rubber bands as you want to drink the whole waking hour. Okay. Meaning I usually have two I usually have two rubber bands on here. And that's because one rubber band means when I push it down to the bottom of the bottle, sorry, you can't see it. is that, oh, here it is, that when I push the when I finish one whole bottle, one of these rubber bands will go down. And that means that I've drank the whole bottle, which means by noonish, theoretically, I would have drank 36 ounces of water. My goal on the basic level is simply to drink two of these. Okay. So that would mean that by the time I take down the second rubber band, it would probably be towards the, late afternoon, early evening. And that meant that I would have at least gotten throughout my waking hours the minimal amount of water to keep me alive. And it's important to understand everyone's level of necessary liquid is going to be different, right? Your hydration is going to depend on a lot of different things, to include, believe it or not, how active you are, okay? Where you are in your menstrual cycle, honestly. And then two, what are you doing all day? Yes, we definitely require hydration, even if we're just sitting at a desk all day, okay? Or standing all day, whatever the case is. But we still require water to keep us regulated, okay? So keep those organs working successfully. We at least need a minimum. So a really fun way to do that, again, is to track your intake. So again, I have two rubber bands on my water bottle. That means that by noon time, okay, because that's like half the day, right? I wake up, early, and then by noon I would have finished 36 ounces of water in some way, shape, or form. And then I will my goal is to finish a second full bottle and bring down that rubber band to tell me, yes, I have drank two full bottles, which means I've drank 72 ounces of water throughout the day. There are other ways you might find, maybe you want to mark actually the time, right? So I've seen water bottles that have times on them. Okay. You can use that. But the idea is that you must have only, my second recommendation is one, to track, use a water, something to track it with the water. But two, only use one bottle. Don't use more than one bottle. Okay. One bottle will work, or one vessel, whatever that looks like for you. But you only need one because you want to take it with you wherever you go so that you can track that one bottle. All right. You might be surprised when you start, tracking, then you really realize, whoa, I may not have been drinking quite as much water as I previously thought I was. And so, I don't know if you want to use a timer or watch of some sort or an alarm, but hey, if you want to go that far, go for it. All I'm wanting you to understand is definitely one, you definitely want to have electrolytes in your water as much as possible. And then two, you definitely want to be able to track your water. So find an easy way that works for you. Okay. Everyone's different. You're going to have your own little flair. So go with it and then see what works, right? Ask around, ask other people how they track, right? Their liquid intake. But just be willing to try, because then that puts you in the best possible light, because now you've tried something. And if it didn't work, that's fine. You can try something else. But don't give up. Stay in sage and ask yourself, okay, this didn't work for me tracking it this way. How else can I mean, come on, you're on YouTube right now. You can find different ways. I bet you that you can find 5 different ways, 5 different videos that show you 5 different ways to track your water intake. I'm sure of it. So again, as a fellow female activist, I want you to always keep in mind that hydration is paramount, not just to keep you on the go, right, when you're being active in your activism, but also on the personal level of keeping your mind at its best possible plasticity, so to speak, as well as your body's fluidity, right? We want our blood to be very oxygenated, and water has a lot to do with it. Okay. I think that does it. Oh, if you want to infuse your water, feel free. I would go with the more natural infusions, right? If you're adding electrolytes, again, you can do so through natural means, okay? Adding lemon to your water is a wonderful way to do so. But you want to, again, find what works for you. And there are a trillion different, in fact, I'll have to find, I'll make sure to add this really cool printout. I don't have the link though of where I found it. I just have the actual printout. And it's this wonderful just list of different infusion recipes for water. Okay, different ways to infuse your water so that it's giving you the maximum amount of support. Okay, I will look that up, and at the very least, I'll find another another PDF that will definitely have that information. And yeah, just be very thoughtful about how well you're staying hydrated, and you will feel the difference. I guarantee it. You will always feel the difference when you have gotten used to drinking enough water, and then when you're not drinking enough water, you can definitely tell. All right. So, my call to action for you, okay, is to at least from this, okay, and put it in the comments, what is at least one way you're thinking of tracking your water intake for the waking hours, okay? It can be so simple. Don't make this hard. Just pick something and then try it out, right? And then come back to the video and let me know how it worked out for you. Awesome, right? So with that, make sure you subscribe, all right, and like this video, and then we will see you next time. Until then, take care, take charge, God bless.